everyone. Welcome to the 4BOM live webinar. This is your host, Miss Eliza Nicole. I know everyone is all excited to start the program. And before we start, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our guests, the 4AOM and our professor, Dr. Jennifer Managay, and lastly, to our guest speaker, Mr. Maynard and Cornell. Let's give them a big round of applause. And as we proceed, let's bow our head and feel the presence of our Lord Jesus Christ. I would like to call on Miss Sophia May Esteba to lead us for the opening prayer.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let us bow our heads and feel the presence of the Lord. Dear God, thank you for all the blessings bestowed upon us. We are truly grateful then. Thank you for allowing us today to meet and share our knowledge and time with one another in this webinar. May you extend your divine wisdom to our speaker so that he would be impart effectively his God-given knowledge to all of us. May he, may he be blessed as he continues to bring his expertise to people who need them. Bless the participants as well so that they would be able to glean the vital information from this activity. May you bestow your blessings after this webinar so that we may go out and spread what we learn in the spirit of your love and generosity.
Thank you very much, Miss Sophia. And now may I call on Mr. John Lloyd Karunungan for our national anthem. And as we proceed, and of course, we wouldn't miss to hear our lovely Professor Dr. Jennifer Managay to give us some inspirational message.
May inspirational message pala ako. Hindi ako na-orient. So, by the way, yan, camera on ako. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, welcome to the webinar series ba to, no, of 4th year AOM. So, we have here, for today's host, we have the 4BOM. And we would like to thank everyone for being here even holiday ngayon, 'di ba? So, and also yung ating guest speaker for being with us this afternoon. So, we hope na marami tayong lalo na kayo, fourth year, na marami tayong matututunan sa ating resource speaker for this afternoon. So, good afternoon everyone and Merry Christmas na rin.
So, siguro naglag si Miss Russell today. So, ako na yung supposed na magsasalita. So, ako yung naka-assign for opening remarks. So, naririnig ba ako? Hindi ko alam kung naririnig ako. Okay,
Yes.
so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marvin Joy Isandrino as one of the organizer of this webinar. How are you guys doing? I hope everyone is safe. I would like to thank each and every one of you who are here today for us, our webinar. And I would like to acknowledge the presence of our guest speaker for today, Mr. Maynard and Cornell, and our head in Office Administration Department, Dr. Jennifer Manatay, as well as the presence of some 4 AOM to join with us despite of their busy schedules. And we know that we have this pandemic that we are experiencing for almost 9 months already, and yet we are still here to attend this very informative webinar. And I hope guys na lahat tayo ay may matutunan at sana makinig ang lahat. Yun lang. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful message, Dr. Ferrer and Miss Sandrito. And now let me call and introduce to you our very own guest speaker. I'm super excited about the conversation we'll get to have today. Everyone, I would like you to know that we have an amazing guest speaker that will be sharing his story to us. What's amazing about him is that he graduated at University of Makati with a degree of Office Management course, and he is currently working at St. Luke's Medical Center, Global City, since 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a massive round of applause to Mr. Maynard and Colonel.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, office management. Does anyone or anybody can hear me? Hello? Yes. For today's Yes, good afternoon. I would like to introduce myself. I am Maynard N. Cornell. I'm working at the St. Luke's Medical Center, Global City, at the Office of the Executive Vice President and Chief Medical Officers. And I'm working with the medical staff secretary. Both me and the medical staff secretary are working. We are the one who actually acquire doctors or consultant inside the hospital. So I would like to say something about the cancellation of your medical internship. I felt very bad about it because actually this is the reason why I have my job right now, and that could be a great opportunity for you guys to uh, had your experience working in an actual hospital. So do may I now start my presentation? Hello, good afternoon. Can anybody see my presentation? Hello?
Sir, wala pa po.
Yan.
Okay na po, sir.
So our topic for today would be the what does a medical office administrator do? This includes what is medical office administrator, duties and functions, the skills you need, choosing a work environment, how to become medical office administrator, and take the first step to become medical office administrator. Okay, what is a medical office administrator? Office administrator are the backbone of the medical healthcare facilities, offices, while doctors and nurses are expert when it comes to directly caring for patients. They are not necessarily skilled at or focus on administrative tasks. So some of our doctors may not actually familiar with handling billing, uh, laws and accounting. So they hire an office administrator for them to work with this kind of task. Next, the term medical office administrator is a broad one. Medical office assistants, patient coordinator, admission coordinator, marketing personnel. So not all of the office administrator may have contact with patient. Some of them may work at the back of the office like the marketing personnel or medical office assistants. Just like me, I'm working at the back of the office, so I have no actually contact with the patient. We are only hiring consultants or doctors. Duties and functions. The usual duties and functions of a medical office administrator would be checking in patient at the front desk. This is very critical uh, because you are actually the first line to check the patient. Next is scheduling patient appointments. Imagine if you schedule the patient on a wrong time. This would cause a delay for the doctors to provide the healthcare for the patient. Answering telephone calls, taking patient histories or comments before appointments. These histories and comments will be the reference for the healthcare provider. So you must know how to get the history or comments from the patient using computers, software, and office equipment, fax, machines, and copier. I'm sure all of you guys are very familiar with this since it's part of the program of the office management. Managing medical charts and records. Uh, this at St. Luke's Medical Center, Global City, we do have a separate department for managing medical charts and records because this will be the record or the data of the patient. Sometimes when the patient have to be discharged and get back into the hospital, they have to get the medical charts of the patient to serve as a reference for the records of the patient. Transmitting lab results to appropriate parties. Uh, at St. Luke's, we do have an online lab results that the right person can open this, and that would be faster than actually getting your lab result and have it run to the healthcare providers to read. So the healthcare providers may now read it online. Stocking and maintaining office supplies. These staffs have no contact with the patient. They are working at the back office, maintaining stocks and maintaining office supplies. Keeping up the appearance of the office. At St. Luke's Medical Center Global City, we are accredited by the JCI. So they do have standards for uh, this keeping appearance of your office. So the usual standards for this is that the only things above your table would be the things that you will going to do for that day. So if you don't need a ball pen for that day, you have to keep it in your cabinet. The skills you need. Uh, the technical skills, data entry, customer service, medical terminologies, customer billing, and scheduling. For data entry, I remember that we do have keyboarding. When I took this when I was first here, and I'm sure you are very familiar with this. Customer service, don't worry as you go along in the first 3 months in your work, you will be trained how to handle customer service. Same to customer building, medical terminology. We do very familiar with this because we study about it in even in the medical stenography. We do have medical terminologies on it. Scheduling, this is very critical. You have to schedule properly. You have to know what are the priorities in your schedules. And sometimes you cannot attend some of these schedules, so you have to appoint someone who may attend those meetings that you cannot attend. So they may write it and give it the notes to you to serve as your reference. These are the skills that you will learn either on the job with previous employers or through an educational program and diploma or certificate. So you don't have to take another courses or experience with these skills because we already study about this. So others are the transferable skills. These are the skills that you can learn by working in any industry through school, volunteering, or that you may have through natural talent. Uh, I suggest that while you are studying, you should had your part-time jobs because this will serve as your experience. No worries, even if you don't have the on-the-job training in the healthcare environment, no worries because the first 6 months in your work, you will be supervised and trained with these skills. First is the multitasking, multitasking, typing, communication, organization, and computer literacy. So regarding computer literacy, we are very familiar with this. I remember when the first time I had my job in the first day of my job in the St. Luke's, some of my older coworkers are not very familiar with the computer. So it will be your greatest advantage when it comes to finding your first job, choosing a work environment. So it's not uh, it's not always the medical administrator work in a hospital. Sometimes they work in a clinic or on a private practice. Let's start with working in in a hospital, one of the most common places of employment for a medical office administrator is a hospital. Hospitals are one of the largest facilities you can choose to work with. And just like me, I'm working at the hospital. We are actually in need of a lot of medical office administrator since because of this pandemic, some of them go to their provinces or scared to go to work. So a lot of hospital need them. So I'd suggest you may inquire in any of the hospital regarding if they do have opening if you are going to apply. Working in a clinic. Clinics are usually reserved for pediatrics, children. They also run on traditional schedules and have standards business hours. If you want to be home by dinner and holidays off, consider working in a clinic. For example, of this is the lying in clinic. Patients here are on schedule. I think emergency cases are very very few in this in a clinic, and the third one would be working in a private practice. The usual setting of the private practice would be the secretary and the doctor. So you could be the secretary handling appointment of the patient, even taking notes and comments or the medical history of your patient. As a medical office administrator, you can also work in a small private practice facilities. When working in a private physician practice will often take on a number of roles. Because of the limited number of staff, there is a teamwork philosophy that means will often be required to perform duties that might go beyond your expected roles. I see some of our office management graduates working in a private practice at St. Louis Medical Center, and what they do is that they are all arounder. So they appoint patients for their doctors. They also process billing. Uh, this includes processing of the requirements of their doctors for the hospital. So that's all you want to know to be as a medical office administrator. So I think that would be all. And uh, I want to share some experience with you guys. Um, at the first 6 months of your job, you should actually take it seriously because this is the your probationary period. So at your probationary period, as long as possible, do not take leaves and go to work early as possible, 30 to 1 hour. You have to be in your work because you may ready your PC, your computer, and other tasks you will do for that day. So this will serve as your warm up for the day. Or I suggest take your breakfast at the office because this almost all the time this breakfast with your coworkers will serve as a talk for the day, and pwede nyo po ditong pag-usapan yung mga dapat nyong gawin. Yung iba dito, nagtuturo din sa'yo, lalo na yung mga senior nyo po. And yan, kung sakaling may mga problem kayo when it comes to work, they may suggest something to you. Ayun lang po siguro ang pwede kong i-share. Thank you. Hello?
Thank you very much, Sir Maynard, for sharing us your ideas about medical administrator duties, functions, and skills. We did like multitasking, typing, and having a great communication skills. We appreciate your time and providing us some um, information about this topic. Thank you. And now, I know everyone would like to hear our fellow classmate to give us some intermission. I would like to introduce to you Miss Madeline Estabilio.
Lloyd?
Hello, Lloyd. Lloyd. Okay, if he, if hindi mo na ma-play ni Lloyd yung presentation, meron ba kayong mga question na pwede nating erase? O, ayun na pala. Okay na. Mamaya na lang yung question and answer. Play mo na yung information. Thank you.
Lloyd, walang
Lloyd,
sound.
walang sounds, be.
Okay, sarap sa ilalim ng kalawakan kapag kapiling kang tumitig sa kawalan. Saksi ang buwan, bituin sa pagmamahala nating dalawa. Tanaw pa rin kita, sinta. Kay layong may nadinig, mistulak ang tala. Sa tuwing nakakasama ka, lumiliwanag ang daan sa kislap ng iyong mga mata. Pag ikaw ang kasabay, puso'y di mapalagay. Pagdi tumatamis tuwing hawak ko ang iyong kamay. O kay sarap sa ilalim ng kalawakan kapag kapiling ka, tumitig sa kawalan. Saksi ang buwan at bituin sa pagmamahalan nating dalawa. Simoy ng hangin makailamig sa katawan. Daig pa rin ang liyab ng aking nararamdaman. Sa tuwing tayo'y magkabilang mundo, isang tingin ko lang sa buwan, napalapit na rin sa'yo. Langit ay nakangiti, nag-aabang sa sandali. Buong paligid ay nasasabi sa ating halik. O kay sarap sa ilalim ng kalawakan kapag kapiling ka, tumitig sa kawalan. ang banat bituin sa pagmamahalan nating dalawa. O kay sarap sa ilalim ng kalawakan kapag kapiling kang tumitig sa kawalan. Saksi ang buwan at bituin sa pagmamahalan nating dalawa. Halika na sa ilalim ng kalawakan. Samahan mo akong tumitig sa kawalan. Saksi ang panagpituin sa pagmamahalan nating dalawa.
Okay, I can totally say that Miss Madeline have an angelic voice. Thank you for letting us hear your lovely voice, Miss Madeline. As we
Thank
continue,
you.
does anyone would like to ask some questions to our guest speaker regarding with administrator duties? Does anyone would like to ask some questions about administrator medical? Oh, may I, may I call on Miss Michelle Antelones?
Hi, Sir Maynard. Good afternoon po. I just wanna know what makes you or what captures your interest in working
Hello,
in,
ma'am. Good afternoon.
yeah. Yes, gusto ko lang pong itanong, what captures your interest in working in medical field? If I'm not mistaken, you're working there for 2 years.
Yes, ma'am, Michelle. Actually, since we had our medical internship, so I decided to continue it. Our office is very dynamic. We do had a lot of different work aside from your usual tasks. There are some tasks that you may not know. Yung mga bagay na hindi mo pa alam and then bibigay na lang sa'yo bigla yung trabaho. So, eto yung nagiging challenge sa'yo para marami ka pang matutunan. Actually, maganda rin dito sa hospital since katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, maraming dito, chance for advancement. So your career advancement would be easy in here. Unlike working in a clinic, sabi ko kanina, wala kang masyadong walang masyadong posisyon, mga posisyon na pwede kang tumaas. O kung dito ka mag-work, ayun, nagpo-provide din sila dito ng training. Maraming training silang pinoprovide when it comes to your specialty. Just like me, we are like the human resource for the consultants. So yan, binibigyan kami ng mga training regarding acquisition and ayun. Kaya dito na rin ako nagtagal. Ayun po, Miss Michelle. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Michelle Antelones. Who would like to ask a question? Again, who would like to ask a question to our guest speaker?
Hello, good afternoon. Pwede ako mag-ask. Hi, sir.
Yes. Hi, Miss
Good
Joy.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir, ask ko lang, as office management student graduate din po, gaano po ka-big help yung stenography sa work niyo po ngayon? Naggagamit niyo po ba siya sa work?
Actually, medical stenography, hindi na halos yun ginagamit sa amin. Nakakita rin ng stenography pero I don't know kung saan nila yung ginagamit. Ang pinaka nagamit ko doon is yung pag-aaral natin doon ng medical terminologies. Ayun. Kasi pag nag-hire ka ng consultants, they do have a different specialties just like the pathology, ENT, ophthalmology, etc. Yun yung pinaka nagamit ko. Napansin ko kasi sa mga newly hired sa amin is hindi sila familiar doon. Doon pa lang nahihirapan na sila familiarizing those specialty, and then ayun, dagdag burden na rin yun sa kanila since bago lang din sila. Ayun po yung pinaka-advantage noong medical stenography natin.
Thank you po.
And also, I would like to call Miss Wego.
Hi, good afternoon po, sir.
Hello ma'am, good afternoon.
May I ask po, ano po yung mga requirements po na pwede naming i-prepare po if in case po magbabalak po kaming mag-apply po sa medical field? Yung mga uncommon requirements po na hindi po namin masyadong na-expect na ipapa-required po pala ng medical field sa amin in case po papasok kami sa.
Okay. Actually, they do not have a lot of requirements. As long as you are a 4 years graduate, especially in office management, and you are applying for the medical administrator, yun pa lang po nag-graduate tayo as office management, yun lang naman po ang inaas nila. If you can pass the medical, which is usual naman po when it comes to application, then hindi naman din sila nag-ask din ng experience when it comes to applying as an office administrator. Yun lang po. I suggest that you review lahat ng mga pinag-aralan natin dito sa office management kasi lahat po ito ang nagamit ko. Katulad ng handling conferences and just like this webinars, yan po. Kailangan na kailangan niya. Mapapansin mo na konti lang din ang nakakaalam ng pag-handle ng mga ganitong webinars sa aming office. Actually, imbis na sila yung nagtuturo sa akin, ako pa yung nagtuturo. Naging ganun pa kasi usually ng mga nagwo-work dito is matatanda na. Ayun lang po, Miss Nicole. Thank you.
Thank you po, sir.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for your participation, for your cooperation and asking questions for our great speaker, Sir Maynard. Thank you din po, sir, for answering our questions. Now, we will be giving the award certificate to Mr. Maynard and Canal for this invaluable contribution as resource speaker during the conduct of the live webinar on Medical Office Internship Program of the fourth year Office Management students with the topics Working as an Office Admin in a Medical Field. Given this 8th day of December 2020 live via Google Meeting application. Signed by Dr. Renalisa M. Ferrer, Professor and Medical Internship, and Dr. Jennifer M. Managay, Head Office Administration Department. This certificate, sir, will be sent to you by our event organizer, sir, later siguro po after this event.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Maynard.
Thank you, Ma'am Managa. I would like to say something lang po.
Sige po,
Hello,
sige.
ma'am. To all office management who will graduate this year po ba? Or next year? Next year,
Next year.
if you want to apply at St. Louis Medical Center Global City, you may send me your CV and I will turn you to our HR. Yan, tutulungan ko po kayo mag-apply dito kung sakaling gusto nyo po dito mag-apply. Actually, maraming pong opening dito sa amin. Yan, thank you very much po.
And now, may I also call on Miss Michelle Pilones for our closing remark?
Thank you very much, Miss Racing. In behalf of 4B Office Management students, we would like to extend our gratitude and appreciation for all the people who participated in this event. This event will not be possible without the people behind this. First, I would like to thank our advisor, Ms. Renalisa Ferrer, and our Head Adminis- Department Head Miss Jennifer Manaday for guiding us and helping us make this event possible. Second, we would also like to thank the participation of 4A office management in spending their time, regardless of their busy schedule, in supporting this event. Last but not the least, of course, our great speaker who undoubtedly accepted our request to give us a speak tonight. Also, thank you, sir, for your presentation. Once again, thank you everyone, and I hope that we learn a lot from this event. Thank you.
Pa-open cam po lahat. Mag-picture taking
Thank you
tayo
very
with Sir
much.
Maynard. Lloyd, ikaw na ba mag-picture? Or si Ate Mitch?
Sige, ako na.
Hi, Ma'am Ferrer.
Hi, good
Oh,
afternoon,
good
everyone.
afternoon po,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon, ma'am.
I would like to thank the speaker for his time and effort and energy for my students learning from your experiences. So, thank you very much.
Thank you po, Doc. Thank you very much din po.
Ready na ba?
Lloyd, let's take a photo na.
Okay, open cam na po lahat.
Nakapagbigay na ba kayo ng certificate of appreciation to the speaker? The
Yes
organizer?
po, ma'am. Yes po.
Diyan na.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Isa pa. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Si Maynard ba, graduate din ng UMA?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yun lang.
Yes po, Doc. Opo, graduate din po ako from University
Connected
of
ngayon,
Manila.
Mark. Sabi ko, saan ka, Maynard, saan ka connected ngayon?
Sa St. Luke's Medical Center po, Global City.
Yun. So, OM din, Maynard.
Yes po, Doc. Opo.
Thank you very much for your time today.
Yes po, thank you din po, Doc.
Okay na.
So, class stay for a while.
Okay. Okay, guys.
Okay na
Thank
po.
you, everyone,
Goodbye,
for
guys.
joining us.
Thank you.
Bye po. Thank you din po.
Managay, thank you.
Bye
Have a wonderful day,
now.
everyone.